What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today is a very interesting video. So I'm 22 years old and I've been blessed enough to make over $1 million since I started in business. Technically, we'll call it 2019. Okay, so it's basically 2-3 years. I went from absolutely dead broke, not like a made-up story, like to like sound cool, but legitimately extremely broke, really bad situation, to making, and we'll pop this up on the screen for proof, making over, I'd say at this point, 1.5 million since then. So what I wanted to do for you guys is I recently hit the little nice M within just one payment processor, which looks nice because it's not spread out between different payment processors and whatever. But what I wanted to do for you guys is break down the principles that I learned from making $1 million at 22 years old. And I'm going to make 2 videos on this. One is going to be actual business tactics, like, hey, offers and marketing and sales and whatever. And this video is going to be principles, some more life stuff, right? More intangible kind of like woo-woo universe stuff, which I genuinely believe is a large part of why I've been able to do what I've done so far. I think this will be extremely valuable for all of you that watch this video, which is why I wanted to make it. I have this pulled up on my laptop here, so forgive me if I read from this. I wrote several pages of what I've learned, so I'm going to read from this as well as talk to you guys on the camera like we usually do. But let's go ahead and get started. Only had one time, you can hear my voice, I sing my song, control my song, only got one life, you can get rich, tight, let it rain on the rose umbrella. So the first thing that I think was extremely important to learn in this journey of 0 to over $1 million is you overestimate what you can do in 6 months, but you underestimate what you can do in a few years. And that's extremely true for obviously like this journey. Like, it's only been a few years. It's not like I've even been in business for 4 years, 5 years. It's been like 2-3. In 6 months, my first 6 months, I struggled a lot and I kind of was questioning like, hey, will this work? But then my like month 18, we're making 100K a month. You know what I mean? So I broke this down here. So 2018, I was a broke welfare kid, just graduated high school, didn't know anything about business, didn't know anything about sales, didn't know anything about marketing, literally zero knowledge. So I moved to college in order to get internet access because I didn't have internet at home. 2019, dropped out of college and learned the basics of sales and marketing. I started a marketing agency. 2020, I quit my marketing agency after I dropped out and I started closing full-time for other people, as you guys know. 2021, I was making 30K a month as a closer, moved to Miami, and then started Closer Cartel, our sales education company, and made right under $1 million in 2021. The majority of that coming in the last 6 months of the year. 2022, we will clear minimum $2 million. That's what we're on pace for right now. Q1 is the slowest part of the year, so it's going to be a lot bigger than that. But conservatively, it's going to be a $2-3 million year, strictly from what we're doing right now. That's without any other businesses. So the point that I wrote here and what I want to emphasize to you guys, if I would have stopped in 2020 when stuff was really, really hard, halfway through my journey, I would not have touched this sort of exponential growth of your arc or your journey. If I would have settled for mediocrity and lived an average life, I would have been stuck, you know what I mean? But just a couple more months would change everything. That's how life works. You could be going through a season of challenge right now, and you're simply a few months away from your wildest dreams coming true. And that's the lesson here, is you overestimate what you can do in 6 months, but if you keep persisting, you're going to massively underestimate what you can do in a few years. So lesson number 2, mental toughness is my greatest asset. And this is something I want to emphasize for you guys. In a world of, I have anxiety, I have depression, I have this problem, I'm on medication. I deal with these people every day. And I don't mean to sound insensitive for people that go through that. I genuinely just cannot relate. I've never had these problems. My close friends have never had these problems. We've been through some like really, really fucked up stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. But the lesson here is nothing can faze me at all after what I went through growing up. In stressful situations, running companies, dealing with people, my family's depending on me, life,
remaining calm and calculated while others scramble around me has been one of my greatest assets. Example of this. Recently, actually like the week of Christmas, like the 25th or whatever, I was betrayed by a really close friend of mine, stabbed me in the back, someone that I considered a brother, and I lost my grandfather in the same week. He passed away from a heart attack, and had to go home, literally dug a grave on Christmas. So pretty shitty turn of events, right? But the thing I wrote here that I want to impart on you guys is it didn't slow me down 1 second. It didn't slow me down. I handle grief differently, I guess, than other people. Like I don't get super emotional, but it didn't slow me down. It actually gave me more fuel to get things done. I was angry. I was pissed off. That's why I went into a little demon mode stint for the first couple months of the year. But the lesson here, focus on mental toughness and the ability to remain calm and collected under stress, and you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. People my age who did not have the upbringing that I had, I smashed them. Any sort of competition, business, fighting, life, endurance, like whatever it is, I will destroy them because they just can't handle what I can handle. So if you can make yourself that way, you have a massive advantage. Number 3, really big one. Skills are important, but in today's world, perspective is more valuable. So here's an example. 2 people have the same skill set. They work just as hard as one another. Person A does have social media, person A does not have social media and does not expand their connections daily. They're not posting. They're kind of a ghost. Nobody knows who they are. Person B does those things every single day alongside working on their skill. In my experience, person B is going to absolutely smash person A because they simply have more eyeballs on them. That's the sad truth of the world we live in. If I could delete this thing and never have to use it, I would, but that's simply not reality, okay? So the point here is, when I was in Ohio, I was very talented at sales. I was very talented at marketing. I was very talented at systems. I was just great at business in general. So much so that when I moved down here and I started hanging out with people making $1 million a month plus, I realized I knew more, or I was more talented than a lot of them, but they're making more money than me. So I asked myself, why are they making more money than me? Like, what did they have that I did not? And the thing that, after like analyzing this for a while, it was eyeballs and attention. If you look at influencers and celebrities, like, and like, we use a gym influencer, right? Someone that lifts. They're not like the biggest person on earth, right? But the reason that they make more money, or they have more eyeballs, or they have more power or leverage or whatever, is because they just cater to a niche better than the other people do. You know what I mean? Like Arnold today is massive. He's popular, whatever. Back in his prime, when he was bodybuilding, he was like the biggest, best looking guy on earth, right?
So I'm coming day and night. I mean, it's terrific, right?
But now you have influencers who are not that big. They're not as like genetically gifted, whatever, but they're making way more money than he ever did at that time, simply because of eyeballs. So that's sort of the concept here, and that's what I started doing, and I started making more money. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how good you are at something if you are not good at showcasing it and you don't have attention. Attention is the most valuable currency in our world. That's why you have companies like Facebook, Apple, Google, Amazon. They make a lot more money than people that are in oil or something else. So lesson number 4, obviously this is a big one. Learn how to sell and you'll be rich. So the skill that brought me the most change in my life was 100% sales. Selling myself, selling a product, selling someone else's offers. Life is sales, always. You're either selling or you're being sold, like Cardone says. And my biggest increases in income actually came when I mastered sales and I doubled down on it. Closing for other people, right? Crafting my own high ticket offer, obviously now with Closer Cartel, and selling that, having a full sales team. So if you learn sales and you master it, it's going to take you far. I don't think there's probably only a handful of people that have ever gotten very, very wealthy and were not good at selling either themselves or something else. I think it's the most valuable skill in the world, which is obviously why we built a company around it. But number 4 is definitely learn how to sell.
So I control the business, I don't need a remote. Got some millions and I'm about to get plenty more.
Number 5, this starts to get into more of the woo-woo stuff, but this is to do with money. And this is something that I really had to learn. Not really the hard way. I've never really had that period of just being an idiot and spending all my money on material stuff and then realizing money doesn't matter, because I came from nothing. So I'm not going to blow my money. Like, I understand I have people to take care of. Like, that's childish. You know what I mean? But money doesn't matter until it matters. Okay, that's the lesson. So money is a double-edged sword. Okay, it's made up. It's not real. It does not bring you happiness. You can buy things that make you happy, but money itself does not bring happiness or any fulfillment. At the same time, if you need it and you don't have it, your life becomes extremely difficult. If your mom needs emergency treatment or surgery and you're broke, what are you going to do? Does the concept of money not being real matter then? This is extremely important to realize, and I'll continue reading here. Understanding this and what money actually is will allow you to live a happier life and live with less stress. Money to me is a way of keeping score. It's the equivalent of experience points in a video game, gold coins, or a scoreboard. Understand that while it is a made-up concept, it's still one of the most important aspects of this life. You need to acquire and accumulate as much money as possible, but for the right reasons. A life with no money is a hard life, while a life with the abundance of money is a life that can truly be lived. Making large amounts of money should be similar to breathing. It's not something that you should make like a difficult thing. It's just something you do. It should become second nature. You make a lot of money. It is who you are. It should become like breathing. Without money, you're powerless. Without power, you're at the mercy of the world, and those who do have money don't be powerless. So that's my concept here. And one of the biggest things I learned making this much money at a young age, guys, it doesn't matter until it matters. I'm moving my mom down here within the next month, to be honest. Like, our timeline got moved up, and I'm going to drop like 50 grand on an apartment up front. And I would not be able to do that a couple years ago. And she is in Ohio by herself. It's not a good situation. Like, our house is shitty. There's mold growing in it. Like, it's very bad, right? If I did not have money to move her down here, she would be kind of fucked. She can't do anything about it. You know what I mean? But because I do have money, I can move her down here and not stress. 50K, it's nothing. We've already made 50K this month in the first like 5 days. You know what I mean? But this is the lesson I want to impart upon you listening to this, is money doesn't matter until it matters. So make it like second nature that you acquire as much money as possible. Don't lose yourself in pursuit of it. Again, it is stupid. Like, it's a meaningless thing, but at the same time, you need to understand that you can't hate the game and the rules of the game. You need to just get really good at playing it. Number 6, this is a big one. A large part of my success so far has come from focusing on making the best products that I can. And this lesson is focusing on the customer. I got this honestly from Jeff Bezos and Amazon. Closer Cartel, for example, not only has a course, a community, opportunities, but full-time coaches and an accountability coach. There's literally not much else we could add. We're literally looking at providing merch right now, like really cool hoodies for everyone that joins, and throwing like yacht events this summer. Okay, that is what focusing on your customer looks like. I could spend all of my time into just marketing it and getting sales, but we've emphasized building a really good product, a really good offer for our people. And I think that's where a lot of the success that I have had has come from. With my agency, we made sure our offer was very, very good. We provided a lot of value to our clients. Closer Cartel the same way. When I was closing, it's the same thing. Obviously, I was selling somebody else's offer, but I was doing my absolute best to try to help the person across from me on the phone. So being obsessive over results for the people that spend money with you is probably the best marketing that you'll ever have. Too few people focus on sales and marketing, and not enough on their product and their offer. Good offers are easier to sell anyway, so focus on the customer. This one's really important. We'll talk about more of these in the business video. This is more principles, but focusing on the customer, putting your ego aside, not getting greedy and chasing money, is something that will make you very wealthy. 7, people who value money overall are people to avoid. And let me tell you, this was something I learned coming to Miami. I got duped by a couple people because I'm from Ohio. I did not grow up around this. Like, this was a whole other world to me. I know now. I feel like a wise old man. But in my limited life experience, I've learned that there's a certain type of person who values money above all else. Avoid these people. Do not do business with these people. Do not confide in these people. And do not put trust in them. A man who values money above all would just as quickly stab you in the back if that meant more money in their pockets. So this one's simple. Guys, if someone puts money above all else, they put money over people, they put money over doing the right thing, that's not a person that you want to be around, and that's not someone that you even want to have a connection to. Okay? We'll just move on from there. That's a pretty simple concept. But trust me, those people will do you very dirty, and they won't think twice about it. Number 8, this is a big one that a lot of people don't really talk about on these business channels. Good people are worth more than anything, okay? Good people falls into 2 categories for me. You have both business and personal. In both, they're the most valuable asset that one can have. Good friends make life worth living, while good business partners and team members will take you much farther than you could go alone. So I've been very blessed to have gained some amazing people in my life since I moved to Miami that I know are going to be around until I die. They're going to be, they're like family, you know what I mean? And it used to not be like that. And I want to share that perspective with you. When I was in Ohio, I was alone. I had no friends. I had no close friends to put trust in. And I felt very isolated. I had bought into the grind culture portrayed online and cut off everybody that I knew. Again, these weren't really people that are the same level of people I have here in Miami. So it probably was the best decision at the time. But by isolating myself and cutting everybody off, I felt very alone. It's easy to fall into like dark whatever when you do that, you know what I mean? But now that I have really, really good friends, like I have an abundance of friends here, people that I trust, that I really value, life is so much better and it's so much more fun. And at the end of the day, I've realized there's no point making all this money if you have nobody to go enjoy it with. That's why you see rich people, these rich old men drive around with young girls that they pay to hang out, and they go to a strip club or they pay escorts or whatever. They're lonely, you know what I mean? They have money, but they're lonely. Life is meant to be lived the right way. You need to acquire both riches and love from people, and I think it's very important. So I now know that I could probably have gotten a lot further and had more fun during the process if I'd let myself be around good people rather than isolate myself and work. There's a time and place to cut out distractions and whatever, but good people should always be around. If they're a distraction and they take away from your goal, they're not a good person for you anyways. So that's the lesson here, is you don't need to do the grind thing, cut off all your friends, whatever, but you do need to do what's best for you at the time. But the key there is, if they are distracting you, they're not a good person for your life. They're not adding to your mission. They're not helping you get further. You know what I mean? So that's the lesson there.
I wanna see you doing better. All black, they can see me in a ghost. Make it back, all I ever needed was hope. If you take a fall, can you fall?
Number 9, a man who is not a master of himself is a master of none. So this is probably the reason I've been able to go from where I was to where I'm at now. If you don't master yourself, you literally cannot do anything, okay? And I wrote a little excerpt here. You must master yourself before you can dream of achieving anything great. This means your mind, your health, and other things that make up the character known as you. If you're at war with the world, wouldn't war on yourself just make things more difficult? If you cannot conquer yourself, how do you expect to conquer an enemy? These principles have been a North Star for me so far and have worked amazingly well. Get in the gym, start fighting, start lifting, eat clean, whole food, get sun, do not indulge in lust, do not watch pornography, be disciplined, read books, learn daily, perform acts of kindness for those less fortunate than you, and on and on and on. This is how you get good at everything, and this is how you get rich. It's the hard part because you have to like rebuild yourself as a person. But this is what I had to do. You know what I mean? I got in the gym. I got disciplined. I cut out distractions. I stopped like hookup culture and all that stuff. I didn't drink, do drugs, party. Focus. and do good things. And honestly live a very like godly life. I don't know if you guys are into religion or not. I 100% am. If you follow, even if you're not religious, if you follow the principles of the Bible or the Quran or whatever, your life is going to be a lot better. Okay, there's wisdom in those books. So that's kind of the principle here. But just keep in mind, a man who is not a master of himself is a master of none. Number 10, and this is the final one. We're going to get a little bit deep. Okay, so anything is possible. Literally anything is possible. So for those of you who don't know my story on this channel or whatever, I'm going to give you a brief idea, as I believe it's going to help make my point. So I'm from Piketon, Ohio. You can take a moment and Google that if you want to see where it's from and what that means. I grew up very poor, didn't really have any family. Nobody in my family history made over $50,000 a year, to my knowledge. I didn't even know what business or wealth was or what it looked like. My father abused us physically and mentally. He's a real asshole. And he was removed from my house by police at the age of 13. Once he was removed, we got stuck with his debt, mortgage on the house, like thousands of dollars in debt, because the civil system in this country is very, very good. The courts are great. And it was left to us to try and survive on $11,000 a year from my mom's substitute teaching. So my mom raised my brother and I on $11,000 a year from about 13 to like 16, 17. And then obviously I started working. My father's family is from Appalachia. They're dirt poor, worse than I was even. And I don't really have a single connection to them. We don't talk to them. Don't know their family history. Don't know where they're from. Literally don't know anything. My mother's family is all very, very old and distant. They were never around when stuff was bad for us. We never had like family to lean on or any of that. So no family. It's just my mom, my brother, and I. And then my mom's mom passed away when I was 2. So no grandma. And then my grandfather recently passed away, leaving her and my brother and I basically against the world. Okay. So that's it. We don't have a family history. Nobody in my family is like my brother and I. And nobody was ever wealthy or even close to it. I was never taught anything about money or business, and I didn't even know what it was until I was 18. The point of me telling you this is not to throw dirt on my family, but I want you to understand the odds that I was dealt so that you can see hope in your own situation. So now you know where I come from, and you obviously know where I am now. How can you not believe anything is possible? If a poor kid from country-ass Ohio can become a millionaire at the age of 22, why can't you do what you dream of? And the answer obviously is that you can. Guys, first off, don't take this the wrong way. I want to paint this picture for you because I believe examples are the easiest way to learn and to inspire hope into people. So when I was broke, I was listening to stories of other people that were broke and then got rich. And I was like, well, fuck, if they can do that, I can do that. Which is why I want to paint this picture for you. So this is my belief, and this is what I want to tell you guys that I think will help you a lot. Life is a video game, okay? I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe in God, but at the same time, I believe the world is malleable and can be changed to our will. In order to get out of the situation that I was dealt, I had to become a person capable of moving the world around me. Whether it's destiny or self-confidence, I think anybody can do this. So how do you start? So you need to think of yourself as the character of a video game. Literally, bear with me. A game like Skyrim or Fallout or like a RPG game, okay? Where you kind of do whatever you want. It's like a world. You can upgrade your skills. You can travel the map. You can fight enemies. You can build and craft things. And you can progress through time in your world. Life is no different. Being born the way that I was and all the other shit was simply my cool backstory and origin story. I'm like Batman, you know what I mean? When I was poor, it was because I had no skills or knowledge. So I started gaining knowledge and experience. Once I had knowledge, I could trade with others in the game for something called money. Once I had money, I could trade with other players for more money and items of value. Then I could repeat the exchange of money for things like power, time, and more money. Guys, it's literally a video game. And as soon as you can remove your ego and your feelings from that and understand like, hey, you're going to die. You're 100% going to die. There's literally zero chance of you not dying, okay? So to live in fear and to not try to shift the world around you is, I think, like a massive fallacy. Like, you're going to die. This is a video game. You get one shot. You die, that's it. So imagine you're literally playing an Xbox game and you get one shot and like you have one life in the game. Are you going to be really, really careful and not try to do anything in the game and just sit all day and then just like look at a screen? No. You're going to try to get as far as you can in the game, beat all the other players, get as rich as you can, level up as much as you can, okay? Life is the same exact way. You get knowledge. If you start from nothing, you get knowledge, then you get skills, then you get money, then you multiply money, and then you have wealth, okay? This concept is legitimately all that you need to understand. It starts with your character, which is yourself. Gaining knowledge that can bring you money. Once you figure this out, as well as a few other things like using your mind to bring you your desires, learning how to think properly, and understanding how the overall world works, you can play the game however you want. So I actually have some actionable advice for you guys on this. You can read books like Think and Grow Rich, Psycho Cybernetics, How to Win Friends and Influence People. But that's about it, guys. This is a long-winded video. This is not great for like engagement bait, whatever. But I think this is something that is going to help you a ton. I literally like was born into one of the worst situations I could have been in. Aside from having a great mom, that's about all I've had. I was blessed to have her, but that's it. And fuck it, who cares? Who cares? I'm 22 years old. I live in Miami, in a penthouse, with a race car. I'm about to move my mom here. I employ my brother. I'm going to employ my mom. I employ like 5 other kids that are actual team members. We've literally changed hundreds of lives. You know what I mean? Thousands of people see this YouTube. So for you to watch videos like this and not absorb that like it's so possible is insane to me. And that's why I want to make this. A small percentage of you will take this to heart and be like, fuck, I can do this. Like there's no reason I can't do this. And that's why I make these videos. So guys, I'm blessed. I'm very grateful. I'm very happy to be able to make these videos. Like this is fun to impart wisdom and whatever upon you guys. But keep in mind, I'm 22. I don't know shit. I'm a baby. Like I am a child. Okay. If a child like me who still acts like an idiot can make millions of dollars, why can't you? You know what I mean? Why can't you take care of your family? Why can't you build a legacy and do what you want? So I'll leave you with that. I don't know how long this video is, but I don't want to drag it out too long. But thank you guys. Please comment below. Let me know your thoughts on videos like this, and I might start pumping more out. But thank you so much. Much love for all of you guys. I genuinely appreciate you, and thank you for the support. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace.
Got some millions and I'm about to get plenty more. Gonna wanna, I'ma kill 'em with antidote. It's my persona, baby, and I thought you would know.